Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today I'm going to be doing another crafter square kit that I got from the Dollar Tree. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in, and for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, I'm just pulling out a random kit that I have a bunch of kits that I'm going to be putting out a series for. Today we're going to be doing a cross stitch kit from Crafter Square, and let's get into this. So it's a little heart, a flying heart with a halo on it, very cute. In the back here it shows kind of like some of the stitches you can create that'll help you complete this project. They have instructions. They want you to take the strands and separate the 6 strands into 2 individual ones. So we'll be using 2 for this project today. And if you have not seen my previous cross-stitching kits before, you can go check that out, but it's pretty much the same thing. This is just not in a hoop. This is going to be free canvas that you can frame on your own. So we'll see. I mean, I personally like the framing that comes with it, but I guess they wanted to have a kit that is larger enough to have these nice bigger images. And the ones that I did that were framed are plastic canvas. This is a bit of a stiff fabric canvas. It comes with the cross stitch fabric. It comes with the metal needle. Ooh, it's a metal needle, so be careful. This is probably more of an upgrade from the little plastic frame ones. It comes with 1 design sheet and 3 threads. Okay. So this is going to be the design sheet, I'm assuming, because this is all that it comes with after that. So I am going to open this little baggie. And we have our metal needle. And then we have our threading. So there's a lot more threads because this is a bigger project, you guys. So you know what, I would love to color it in, but I think in a perfect world that would be nice. But I'm going to start with the red. So we're going to grab ourselves a red piece of yarn here, or embroidery floss, they call it. Just going to grab, and it's a fairly long, and save these flosses, you guys, from all the kits that you get from Crafter Square. Just save the instructions, save the extra material, because as we all know, some of these materials do not give you enough, some of these kits don't give you enough material to complete the project. So when you save the extra material, you may have the color you need, or you can at least finish it with some sort of color, or you can save it for another project, like if you do like a double or a copy or something like that. But I'm just going to separate the strands. There's 6 of them, and I'm just going to take 2. So I've separated 2 from the strand. This is how I separate it. Their instructions, I think at least in the circle framed cross stitch kit, they tell you to do 1 at a time so that you don't end up getting tangles. But if you separate the number of strands you need, put your thumb in the middle there and kind of pull, and make sure that you kind of, once it gets a little tight, to, you know, zhuzh it a little bit so that it allows you to pull more yarn. When you let go, just want to, I just hit my light, just make sure that it will want to spin, because the machine spins the threads in place, that it'll want to go back to that position. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll go back to pulling it. Okay, and then See how it's rolling up? It's because it's getting too tight. So on this end, we just have to zhuzh it a little bit to kind of unwind the tension. And of course you do that with these two. And then we're going to continue splitting this. Okay, it's a constant zhuzhing of 3 strands, well 3 groups, so that it doesn't get clumped up and you end up getting a knot. Just got to be very delicate with your pull, and you have to put enough tension so that it doesn't roll on itself. And then the zhuzhing, of course. Okay. Alright, so I got my 2 strands separated. There's actually, oh my gosh, I just learned something new. And I'm going to show you guys. So, I know I just told you to separate 2 strands, but you know what? I just realized, don't hate me, just split it again. We're going to do 1, and I'm going to show you how to make that into 2. Sorry, you guys. I know. I'm just really excited about getting these kits done because it's been a minute. I know I have that flower bouquet I'm doing at the moment, which is going to be a really super cute finish. So that's going to be a bunch of, oh, I just hit my light again, a bunch of series of videos that I'm looking forward to doing, but I don't want to leave the Crafter Square kits on the wayside because I actually was looking on their website trying to find kits that I don't have, and I read the reviews on some of them, and the customers that leave a review are just so not happy with these kits because they don't really, the instructions aren't friendly enough for real beginners like myself, because cross stitching is not my forte, as you can see. So okay, I'm gonna grab my metal needle now. But yeah, so I read the reviews on some of these kits, and I just want to be able to help. You know, I know my instructions aren't gold to everyone. You know, everybody has their preference and learning, you know, ways of learning, and my way of teaching. I'm not a teacher by any means, so what I do in my videos might not be helpful to other people, but for some it does help, and that's what I'm here to do. Because I know how, like, you really want to do something and you just get turned off by the wrong kit, and that in turn can affect you on future projects. Like, I don't want you to ever think that you can't do a certain, like, cross stitch because you just happen to have the worst kit, and then it, you know, you just give up on it, you know, because there are other kits that are just, you know, friendlier and easier to understand and stuff like that. But I'm just gonna do this, put this in the eye hole. I have a threader, but since this kit doesn't come with one, I'm just gonna do this the old school way. And because that's what you guys are going to be doing. Now I just put the 2 ends of the 1 strand together. See, here's the loop, right? So just put the 2 ends together, and then I'm putting that into the eye hole. Now you can knot this, it'll eventually come out. Just do a loose knot like that, and make it long enough so that it takes a minute to unravel itself. It will, trust me. Just don't do it tight. Okay, so now we have our thread loaded. Now there's a million ways to do this. People say start in the center. I've never done that. It's never been a thing for me. So, but you could do that. Now what you could do also is, let's say we wanted to start at the bottom. For some reason I like starting at the bottom, or at least the bottom corners, but since this is a heart shape, I'm going to start with the heart shape, obviously, because I have the red. But what you want to do, because you have this sheet here, we're going to count how many rows up And we're also going to count how many rows out so that we can locate this. You could just, this clearly has enough room for you to like play with. So you can literally just lay this on here, go boop, that's where you need to start, because you can kind of see it, which I'm tempted to do, but I'm going to count because we have time to count here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, 20 holes up, and then I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. 39 holes to the right, left. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so this row here, I'm just gonna put my finger on that hole. Try to count from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. All right, so here's actually where I'm going to start my first thing here. Now, this is pretty much the same on the other side. So I'm actually just going to stick this in. And this is going to be my underside. I'm just showing you now because it was just easier to count and look at it now that I stuck it in, because it's going to be difficult to just, okay, you marked your spot and then remove the needle and put it under there. If they're both the same looking on either side, it really doesn't matter. So I stuck my needle in there. I'm going to flip it upside down now, or right side up, because this is going to be our picture side. Oh, well, maybe not, because we counted 39 on this side and we can't assume that 39 is that way. So fine, take back what I said. Remove the needle, try to remember the hole. Okay, all right, so I'm sticking this, it's 20 rows up and then 39 holes to the left. But anyway, so I stuck this up and I'm going to do my first cross, and you can do it any way as long as you stay consistent. So I'm going to go from bottom right to top left, bottom left to top right. So we're going to do a diagonal. So this would be the next one. Now I'm going to turn this upside down. What I want to make sure to do, you see this loop that we created by putting the two ends together? I'm just going to slip this right on top of the needle, and then I'm going to feed the needle through all of that and just pull it secure. So we have our first stitch, half stitch kind of, and it's secure where there's no excess yarn because we didn't tie any knots. And then on the other side we're good to go. Okay, so we're right here now, you guys. Try to find a spot with no glare. Just follows you. All right, so we did this right here. Now, what I want to do, I want to go do row by row, right? So we're going to do 2 more boxes. So you want to come up right next to this one because we're going to do 2 more boxes. So stick your needle through that hole all the way through. Okay. Then we're going to do another diagonal. Okay. Then you want to stick your needle next to that one because we're going to do 1 more box. Okay. Then we're going to do another diagonal. Okay, so now we have our 3 boxes covered at least halfway. 1, 2, 3. So now we're going to cross it. So I'm going to start from the bottom and then go up. So stick your needle next to that stitch again, and then we're going to cross it with an X, and that's cross stitching like that. Okay. And we're going to go into the next stitch because we're going to go back like that. Okay, then we're going to diagonal again. And then you're going to put your needle into the next stitch after that. Okay, and then you're going to cross it after that. So we just completed our first row, you guys. And you see how it's gappy? So I would say 3 strands, not 2 strands, but the instructions did say 2 strands. Just fold this under. See, separate 6 strands, floss into 2 individual strands. Yeah, that's fine. We'll make do. Now, just for curiosity's sake, let's look for. Let's turn this upside down, and you can see it should be nice and neat. You know. If it looks a little funky, it's all right, you know, just make sure there's no knotting. You like it nice and flat, not too tight, because we'll be able to tie it off later. I'll show you how to do that. So now we're going to do the next row, and the next row has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, but it looks like there's 1 on each side of that the 3 block row. So how we do that, when we stick our needle again, since we're always going to maintain the same direction of stitch, it may not look like it now, but from like far away, especially with some light hitting it, you'll be able to tell if you did inconsistent stitching. If you did, you know, in my case, since I did from bottom left to top right, if I did it the other way and started you know, bottom right to top left, you just can, the shadows will show it, and that might be okay for some, but for me, I'll catch it and it'll bother me. So try to be consistent with your stitching. So we're going to do 5 blocks now, and there's 1 extra on each side. So we're going to go now, put our needle into this hole here. So each block contains 4 holes. So since there's 1 on each side, we're just moving over a column and utilizing that hole. And we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to just do diagonals all the way across till I hit the other side. The other side has 1 block coming over that bottom row. So, and then I wanted to show you something else, you guys. So as you're doing this, notice the knot that I made. You see how it's like loosening up? So that's normal if you knot it loosely like that. I just, you know, sometimes when you pull, especially when you're a beginner, you might slip the thread accidentally out from the eye hole of the needle. So just putting a knot will kind of keep it in place. So that's why I said don't worry about putting a loose knot, because it'll eventually come out and you'll have to re-knot it if it does and you're still working your thread. I like that they used a metal needle, but as we know, like, this is not meant for children then. The ones with the framed kit, it comes with a plastic needle, at least so far the ones that I did. I'll end up, I have more ring framed cross-stitch kits. I'll let you know if that's plastic, but this one's metal, so either you know, it's up to your discretion if you allow kids to use it. Obviously, you know, do it supervised. You never trust children with sharp objects. Okay, so now I'm going back and I'm crossing like we did. And then I'm just going to do one more row of this heart red stuff, and then I'm going to time lapse everything so that we're not sitting here a livelong day doing the same stitch. I mean, I could, but then it would be a long video, and we still have black and yellow to do. But yeah, I'm just going back. As you know, with all my attempted tutorials, I always like to do example three of whatever it is. So I'm doing 3 rows in this case for you guys, and then I'll leave you to do your devices. Hopefully it works out. Okay, so we just completed the second row. Let's turn this upside down, and you see how we're maintaining our lovely little neat pattern here. Again, if you're beginning, it may not look neat, it may be all over the place, but as long as this side is good, you know, because my first one I did, I'm still working on it because it's huge, you guys, and I can't wait till it's done because I'm gonna take a picture and share it with you. But the back side looks awful. Yeah, not my proudest work, but at least the front looks okay. So far so good. All right, the third row has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes, and then there's again a box on each side over the bottom row. So I'm going to stick my needle again right here, a box over the bottom row, and again I'm going to just go down the row with diagonal stitching first, from bottom left to top right. And that's one of the things I learned too. When you do these kits as a beginner, you want to be strategic about how you place your stitching so that it's the most efficient and it's the neatest. And the problem when I started out, I was doing X's one by one, which is fine, but you can get a nice clean look on the underside if you do it this way. Okay. Now I'm going to cross it. I went over one box over the last row we did, so I'm going to cross it now. We're going to go bottom right to top left. And I think my knot went away, so I'm gonna just retie that just in case, because I don't want to lose this the amount of yarn I have on here, or embroidery floss I have on here, because I don't want it to come out of the eye hole, because we don't have, it'd be okay if we had a threader, but since we don't, the ends of the embroidery floss are going to start to fray as you use it, and it's just going to be harder and harder to just slip into the eye hole without, you know, wetting the end. I don't like wetting the end, so we're going to try to keep this in the eye hole as long as we possibly can. We are almost done with this third row, and again I'm just gonna time lapse the rest of it. I don't know if I'm just gonna play the whole thing or if I'm gonna cut out some parts and just skip, but we have our third row done. Flip it over. We have a nice uniform back, and I'm gonna continue with this. If you like, this is kind of like a glossy finish. Maybe use some type of eraser board pen to cross off the rows that you've already completed. Okay, I'm actually going to pop back in. If I use up this yarn, I'm going to show you how to continue if you need more yarn, or how to switch off colors, obviously. So I'm on the third row, and let's just start time-lapsing this, you guys. Okay, so I got to a point where I ran out, or I'm running out of yarn. So we're going to secure this in place, and we're going to reload the needle with more embroidery floss. So what I'm going to do is I want to, this row here is the diagonals. So those stitches are kind of loose at the moment. And we are going to cross them, but just so that, you know, this is more secure, I'm going to stick this needle underside this row of stitches. So what I'm going to do is try to stick your needle right underside all these stitches here, and you're just going to gently lift each stitch, and it doesn't have to be like 100% underneath. You know, you may pierce a thread, and that's okay. We just want to make sure we thread this end through a few of these stitches to secure it in place. And just for me, I'm just going to use the whole row. So the more stitches that it's securely under, the secure that end piece is going to be. So just putting this through the last one here. So now that I have this needle going under each stitch here, I'm going to try just feeding this thread underneath these stitches. So now I'm just going to pull this out. If you have to kind of push it along, because that's why you want to make your stitching a little tight, a little loose, because if it's too tight it won't slip under. So I'm just pulling this, as you see here, and then you just want to keep pulling it till your needle's all the way out. Now we have this little piece. You can pull it a little tight, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back in with my scissor, and I'm just going to trim off that excess piece. And because we have it going under how many stitches, it's okay to get it that close, because if it unravels this stitch, you still have all these other ones that'll hold it down. Alright, so now that we have that, I'm going to rethread this yarn with more embroidery floss. So since we already had that one thread that I had you pull out, now at least you have it handy. We're going to take each end of that embroidery floss, and we're going to put the ends together like this, and then we're going to thread this end into the eye hole of the needle. And again, this may take finessing because they did not slip in here a threader. That actually went in fairly easy. Again, I'm going to just have a good amount of thread coming out there, and I'm going to just tie a loose knot so that I can again continue my stitching. This is where I left off. So wherever you left off and you have to continue the row or continue your cross stitch, you want to come back in. Now at least we know where we are. We just have to put the needle where we left off. Okay, we're going to put one side in. We're going to put the other side. Do your diagonal stitch, cross stitch, wherever you are in your project. Turn it upside down here. I want to take the loop that's in the other end, like that. And you want to just slip it over that needle. Then we're going to start feeding it through. And you're going to pull it gently, just so that it's nice and taut. But now we can continue. Very clean stitching here again. No excess yarn or anything like that. And we can continue where we left off. Again, you guys, I'm going to, in real time, film this until it hits the hour, maybe. Actually, you know what? Now that you've seen me connect it, I'm just going to stop the video here. I'm going to finish doing all the heart. And I'm going to pop back in and I'm going to show you how to do, let's say, I guess the black next, to do the outline. Okay? Because it's pretty straightforward. I showed you guys how to do the first 3 rows. I showed you guys how to switch out and add more embroidery floss. And then I'm going to come back in. I'm going to show you how to switch colors. And we'll move on from there. Okay, so we are back. And I wanted you guys to see the back side of what I ended up doing. Nice and neat. And on this side, the right side, we have our completed heart. So when you get to this point, it's just like what we did before when we were using another strand. You have to tuck this into the stitching. So we are going to stick this needle through these stitches in order to draw this threading underneath it and secure it in place. Okay. Oh, I think I might have accidentally pulled one of the threads out when I try to fish it back in. This is the painful part. I'm not gonna lie, off camera I used my threader. I'm gonna try not to use that while I'm filming with you guys because you don't have one and it's not fair. So you just want to make sure that the strands are kind of in a way where you can slip it through the eye hole like that. Okay, so I saved it. Alright, now I'm going to drag this through all the stitching. And it definitely doesn't help that I put lotion on because my hands are slippery now. But I'm just going to try pushing this along. Okay, so I think you guys get the idea. You just have to not have lotioned up hands coming back into your video. But I'm getting it. Be careful not to obviously poke yourself with this needle. Okay. Got my needle out with the help of this because my hands are lotioned up. Alright, and then I'm going to cut off the excess. And so now we have our heart. And you know what? Like when I counted this off, I thought this was a perfect square, but it's not. I feel like maybe I should have counted it this way because the heart is not on center. Again, I guess that's why sometimes they tell you find the center of your canvas. But we'll see how that affects the rest of the drawing. If it works out and then you want to frame it, however, you could always trim the edges to make it look even. But so now we're going to do the outline and the wings. And we actually have a lot of red yet. And had we known this, because it tells you to do 2 strands, you could have probably done 3. I would have done 3, like I said, starting off, because look, you get these gaps in between. So I think the canvas is big enough to do 3 strands. You know, you could always go back over it and add more, but that just seems like, ugh, you've already come this far, why are you gonna go back? Okay, so now I'm gonna go grab some black here. And we are going to do the next steps. I'm going to separate these strands. I'm going to grab one this time because we ended up just using the one to make a nice clean first stitch. I think that is worked out best. As you saw in the back of my project, it looks very nice and clean. Hopefully you guys were able to get that as well. If not, it's okay. It takes some practice to kind of learn how you do your stitching so it can be nice and perfect on both sides. Because sometimes when you're framing this, the type of frame that you have, it's like you need it to be flat as possible. So if you have all these threads bunched up, it might make it hard for you to close the frame, the backing on your frame when you're framing it. And sometimes you do projects that just have a ton of color that you really do need to be mindful of how much bunching you get back there, because it adds up. Okay, so I have my black embroidery floss, and like we did before, I'm just gonna put the two ends together like that, and then I'm going to thread this up, and you can trim this down if you want it to be. I need to get new scissors, but yeah, if you want it to be nice and clean so that you can slip this through the eye hole. Okay, just gonna tie this up, loose knot. Right, and then we can continue on. You want to find the best way to do your black stitching. So you might want to start in one of these corners on the wings. That way you can go all the way around. Okay, maybe we'll start here and we'll go down here, come back up, do this, go around, go up, and go around like this. Alright, so let's start. Alright. Right here, 2 out. Here's the 3rd row, 2 out. It'd be right here. I'm going to maintain the same stitching that we've been working on. Again, put your needle through that loop, loosely tighten it up a little bit. Okay, and we're going to start doing the next stitching. And then just looking at this, then there's one all the way around until we get to that other side. So it seems like we're going to be doing X's as opposed to diagonals and then crossing them, because these are single boxes we're doing here. So I'm now just going to time lapse this part for you. And because, one more thing, because we are going around in a circle, or this way, meaning we're not going to do diagonals down this row. We're just going to, again, like I said, we're going to just do X's for each box, because that's not going to allow us to, if we did that and came back, we'd have a huge gap going into the next group. So doing one box at a time is best. Okay, so now I'm gonna do a time lapse.
I'm Captain Nelson. I spoke to you on the phone this morning.
Oh, of course, Captain. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. Well, this is the young lady that wants to become a WAF. Yes, ma'am. Well, there isn't a finer, nobler career you could have chosen. Would you like to sit down?
Sure.
Well, let's get a little information on her, all right? Name? My last name? Nelson. Nelson. Oh, then she's a relative of yours, sir.
Yes, sort of.
What relation is she to you, sir? Hi.
My wife's cousin.
Date of birth? July 1st. July 1st. Year? 21 BC. Age? 1500. And place of birth? Pompeii. 21 BC, 1500 years old. I know I should have been honest with you, Lieutenant. I am not really 1500. I really didn't think so. I am 2000, but every woman lies about her age.
I'm afraid Jeannie tends to be a bit of a practical joker. There's no harm intended, just a spirit of fun, you know.
She's enlisting in the West, Captain, not in the Campfire Girls.
Why don't you give us the fresh application, and then we'll go into another room and fill it out. It's no sense bothering you with all this, is it?
Well, all right, Captain. Go in the room across the hall.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jeannie. Thanks again.
Are you certain you're doing the right thing?
Absolutely. You'll be right where you belong.
It's here, Master. Look, a letter from the United States Air Force.
What does it say? You've been accepted?
I do not know. I'm too nervous to open the envelope.
Well, all right, let's take a look. Says Air Force regulations.
For what? What is it? What do they say?
Salute when you address an officer recruit.
Recruit?
Mm-hmm. You are now a member of the United States Air Force.
Oh, is that not wonderful?
And tonight you leave for 6 weeks basic training in San Antonio, Texas.
I leave for what?
Lackland Air Force Base. For 6 weeks basic training.
That means I will have to be away from you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
But 6 weeks is a lifetime.
And you'll pass before you know it. Both of us. You'll be busy training, I'll be busy working.
Yes. What will your secretary be busy doing?
Just forget about Corporal Burns. Say, you better get some of your things together.
I do not see why I must go away.
Jeannie, you'll probably have the time of your life. Think of the interesting people you'll meet, the wonderful things you'll see in North Africa.
North Africa?
San Antonio. You better get your gear together.
Yes, sir. Come in. Recruit Nelson reporting, Major.
At ease, recruit. I've been studying your aptitude tests, and the results are amazing. You're quite a remarkable young woman.
Thank you.
As you know, these tests determine your main interests and abilities. They help us to place you in the jobs you seem best suited to.
What did you find out about me?
The average girl usually shows ability in several different fields. But we've given you 5 separate tests, and the answer's always the same. It seems there's only one thing you're qualified to do.
What is that?
Nothing.
Oh, how can that be?
I don't know. You have a very high IQ rating. To say that you're capable of nothing just doesn't seem right.
No.
Before you enlisted, you must have been doing something.
Oh, yes, I was.
What?
Nothing?
Well, we just got to find some kind of job for you to do.
I would make a wonderful secretary for Captain Anthony Nelson.
Wouldn't we all, my dear? Let's see, the hospital is usually short-handed. Perhaps you'd make a good nurse's aide.
A nurse's aide? I do not think so.
You have your orders. Report to Lieutenant Grant. Charge nurse. And that'll be all. Dismissed.
I'm truly sorry, Colonel. I really do not know what to say.
Well, I've had fun.
Okay, so we got to the other side and we have to do this little outline before we end up doing the wing. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to do diagonals down and then crosses back up. So you're gonna oh no, did I do this wrong? I think I did this wrong. Oh, that seems right. 2 there, I got 2 here. And then we do up, down, back up, around, 1, 2, 3. Oh, doubles are at the 4. It's not even. Huh? Did you notice that? Anyway, so now that we know this, I have to go back, because we have to do the double next row down. Oh shoot. Hold on, I gotta figure out which side I'm on. Okay, I think it's right here. Okay, I just undid that one box. We have to go next one down. Okay, this is going to be the one with the double. I'll just do the double already. You like to always break off your groupings using the cross-stitching landmarks so that it's easy to find out where you are in your project. Okay, so what we have to do, I'm going to do diagonals down this row here. Okay, let's see, so down and then 3. So we're going to do diagonals again. So now we're going to go back up, so we're just going to cross. went back up, so now we have to start the wing. So it looks like we're gonna go 1 over 1 up each time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So starting from here, and then we're going to do 7 boxes. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay. Now that we're up 7, we have to do 2 more to the right. So again, we're going to keep with just doing X's one at a time. Okay. Then I'll probably show you how to close off the excess, because we're running out of yarn here. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4 down. Okay, so let me just turn this over. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to utilize these bank of stitches to stick my needle under, because we don't have much stitching to use, since we're doing single cross stitches in this line to make the wing. So just do what we've been doing. We're going to pull this through, tighten up a bit. We're going to cut off that excess. Now you guys, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just going to cut this here and then come back to do the yellow. But I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to do the same thing that we did going this around this side. So I'm going to complete this wing Okay, and we already did this. I'm going to go around, and then I'm going to do the same thing that we did on this side. I'm going to do diagonals up and then crosses back down, and then we're going to continue the wing going up. There's a lot of ways you can do it. That's how I'm going to do it. I'll come back in and we'll go ahead and do the yellow. Okay, so I finished up the wings and the outline around the heart. I'm going to show you how to do the yellow. So we're going to just do the ring, and then I'm going to cut the video, finish everything up, and then we're going to look at the end result. So we did have black left over. We still have to do an outline. I think there is enough, in my opinion, to do 3 strands instead of 2. So if you want to do that, then by all means go do that. I think they did give us more than enough embroidery floss for all that. They did say 2 strands, but it really should be more than 2. Okay, so again, I'm just going to split off one of the strands from this. We're almost there, you guys. This is very tightly wound, which is a good thing, but in our case, we're just taking it apart, so not really. Alright, like we did before, I'm going to take both ends of this, line them up. Okay. Then I'm going to take my needle. We're going to thread this into the eye hole. Tie it up. Okay. Then obviously we'd want to go around the ring. So let's start here. We're going to count where this is. Obviously it's 1, 2 away from the black outline, and let's say from here 1, 2, 3, 4 in. So from the black outline, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2 up. Try to remember where that is. Okay, it's just to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Okay. So now this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. So we're going to go do a diagonal. Okay, up to that end, put your needle through it, pull, and then we're going to go over 13 squares, and I'm just going to do diagonals. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. I'm just going to go back and count it just to make sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So now I'm going to come back and I'm going to cross my stitches. Okay. Okay, and then once I finish this row, I'm going to take a look at the image, and it seems like we're going to be doing individual boxes hereafter. Okay, so we have 1, 2 coming up. So now, like I said, we're going to be doing individual boxes. Okay. Next row, another 2. Okay, and then after that, 2, 2, 1. Okay, and we have 2, 2. Okay, 2, 2, and then we're doing 3, 6, 9, 12, another 13. Okay. And we're not going to go down the row with diagonals. We're still going to keep with the individual boxes because doing diagonals right now is not going to allow you to come back around the other end of this yellow halo. So I'm just going to quickly do this. Okay, so it's pretty much going to copy the same thing around to get to the other end of that halo. So I'm going to time lapse this for you guys. Okay. So I finished up the halo. This is the underside of our project. Kind of neat, but kind of not. I'm going to again put this needle underneath the stitching to seal in that excess piece. Okay. Just thread this through. And cut off. Alright. So here we have our halo. Again, like I said, I'm going to stop the video here. This is already a long video. I'm going to line up the halo, add the stars in, and then we'll come back in and I'll show you guys the end result. Okay, you guys, so this is the end result here. I added the outline for the halo and the little aura sticks here. I added some stars. So what do you think? Leave a comment below. I think it looks fairly similar. Again, it says 2 strands, but we have all this yarn left, or embroidery floss actually, so you can actually do 3 count, see how that is, maybe 4 count, because you know it's okay, but it would be better if these gaps weren't in there. And obviously the thicker the thread, these wing lines will be more lines than X's. But yeah, I think it came out alright. And then again, like I did count, I didn't realize it seems to be the right size. So I just counted, you know, where to start from up and then from the left, and it seems like it's not on center. Again, usually they say to find the center of the canvas and start from the center and work out. I don't like working like that. I like working like, you know, from one side of something. But as you see here, it's not on center. But I guess if you wanted to frame this, you could always trim down the sides to be equal. But that is it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you got this kit, I hope that you're able to produce the end product. If there are any other kits that you would like to see, leave a comment below or send me an email. I'll be able to work that out for you. If I don't have it, I'll let you know, and then maybe you can email me images of the instructions. But yeah, this is one out of I believe 3 more that they have, and then there's different kinds of cross-stitching kits, so I'm gonna do those as well. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.